Alright, welcome back. Today we are expanding our understanding of linear functions, looking at yet another form of equation, this one being called the point-slope form. So by the end of this lesson you want to be able to use the point-slope form to write an equation for a line. So first let's just look at how we can graph a line when you're given a slope and a given point. So step one, you're always going to plot your point first because that's kind of like your anchor. That's where you're going to start out. So here our point is 3, 1. So I'm going to go over 3 and up 1. I'm going to go ahead and draw that point there. Now I can use the slope to move from 3, 1 to another point. So remember slope, which was 2, is really rise over run. So it's 2 over 1 because that's how 2 is as a fraction. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Now that I've graphed a couple of different points, I can go ahead and draw that line in that is connecting all of those points. Now using that information, if we're given the slope and we're given a point on the line, we can use the point-slope form in order to simplify to a linear equation. And we do that by taking a line with a slope of m, notice, just like m was in mx plus b, the slope-intercept form, and our point x1, y1, and create this equation or form. So it's y minus y1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x1. The y and x are going to stay just like we had in our slope-intercept form. You're going to substitute in y1, you're going to substitute in your slope, and you're going to substitute in your x1. So those are kind of like the boxes we're filling in. So let's look at what this looks like. We're going to write it in point-slope form. So here we have a slope of 1/6 and our point is 5, 1. So it's going to be y minus our y value, which is 1, is equal to our slope, which is 1/6, times the quantity of x minus our x value, which was 5. So now I want you to pause the video and try these next two on your own and then just check and see how you did. So for B, we have y minus our y value, which is 3, is equal to our slope, which is -4, times x minus 0. But on this one, because that minus 0 wouldn't change it, we could actually simplify this even further. It's just y minus 3 equals -4x. On this last one, we have y minus -4 is equal to our slope, which is 1, times x minus -1. Once again, we want to simplify. Remember, when we subtract a negative, we can double slash that. So this can change into y plus 4. That 1 doesn't necessarily have to be there, so if we left that out and double slashed here, we'd have x plus 1. So now we want to see how we can actually use point-slope form, and we can do that really easily to change it into slope-intercept form, which is a really quick manipulation of point-slope form. So first we're going to take our slope and our point, and we're going to write it in point-slope form. So y minus 4 is equal to our slope, which is 3 times x minus -1, but I'm going to go ahead and double slash that and make it plus 1. And now, when we do that, if we solve for y, we can actually figure out our slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute here. So we have y minus 4 is equal to 3x plus 3. Now I'm going to go y by itself by adding 4 to both sides. So our slope-intercept form is y equals 3x plus 7. Alright, so now it's your turn. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video and use this information to write an equation in slope-intercept form. So here, once again, I'm going to start in point-slope form because it's really easy to change around. So we have y minus 1 equals 1/3 times x minus our x value. Go ahead and double slash. So now I'm going to go ahead and distribute. So we have y minus 1 equals 1/3 x, and then 1/3 of 3 is 1, so plus 1. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 to both sides to get y by itself. So y is equal to 1/3 x plus 2. Alright, so now let's look at another example of how we can actually use this when we are just given 2 points on a line and nothing else. So first thing we're going to do is find the slope. So remember that's the rise over run, or a change in y over a change in x. So here I'm going to do -3 minus 1 over 2 minus 4. -3 minus 1 gives us -4x. Remember to do y minus y. 2 minus 4 gives us -2. This is going to simplify to +2. Now that I have my slope, I can pick either one of my points. I'm going to go ahead and pick 4, 1, just for positive numbers. It doesn't really matter which one I pick. You'll end up with the same equation in the end anyway. So I'm going to put it in point-slope form. So y minus our y value, which is 1, equals our slope times x minus 4. Go ahead and distribute. So now I have y minus 1 is equal to 2x minus 8. Go ahead and add 1 to both sides, and now y is equal to 2x minus 7. So now it's your turn. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one out for yourself. Alright, so hopefully you started by finding your slope. So I'm going to do 1 minus 9, my y value is minus my x. 0 minus -2. Remember, keep it consistent. 1 minus 9 is -8. 0 plus 2 is 2. So this is going to give us a slope of -4. Now once again, it doesn't matter which point you pick. So say I pick 0, 1. I'd have y minus 1 is equal to -4 times x minus 0. Go ahead and distribute. So this becomes y minus 1 equals -4x, but then that's 0, so I don't have to change that. I'm just going to go ahead and add 1 to both sides. So hopefully you notice that your equation is y equals -4x plus 1. Alright, so here's one more example. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video, try this one out, and then just make sure that you're checking in with me in case you have any questions. Alright, so first we're going to find our slope. So we have -2 minus 10 over 1 minus 3. So this becomes -12 over -2, or +6. So now I'm going to pick my point. I'm going to use 310. Y minus 10 is equal to 6 times x minus 3. So y minus 10 equals 6x minus 18. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and add 10 to both sides. So our last equation should be y equals 6x minus 8. Well,